Tonight's royal media storm erupted with a force few could have predicted, as a live television segment triggered what sources are describing as an unprecedented reaction from Prince Harry, shaking both sides of the Atlantic and sending shockwaves through royal watchers, media executives, and palace insiders alike. What began as a routine political commentary slot quickly spiraled into one of the most explosive celebrity news moments of the year, placing the Duke and Duchess of Sussex back at the center of a controversy that refuses to fade. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. During a live broadcast, Megyn Kelly delivered what she described as previously unexamined online material connected to Meghan Markle's pre-royal years, alleging the existence of an ESCORT-style website that had circulated quietly on fringe forums for more than a decade. Kelly emphasized on air that she was not asserting criminal wrongdoing, but rather questioning why such claims had never been directly addressed, investigated, or legally challenged despite their persistent reappearance. Within minutes, clips of the segment spread across social media platforms, igniting a digital firestorm that rapidly trended worldwide. According to multiple media insiders, Prince Harry was reportedly watching the broadcast in real time. Sources close to the California household claim the reaction was immediate and intense, describing a moment of visible distress and anger as the segment continued. While no official statement has been released confirming his response, several outlets cited unnamed associates who alleged that Harry viewed the broadcast as a coordinated public humiliation rather than legitimate journalism. These same sources suggest that urgent calls were made to legal advisors within minutes of the segment ending. The allegations themselves are not new, but the platform on which they were discussed changed everything. For years, similar claims had circulated in obscure corners of the internet, often dismissed as baseless gossip or conspiracy-driven speculation. What made this moment different was the mainstream visibility. A primetime television audience, combined with Megyn Kelly's reputation for confrontational interviews and sharp commentary, gave the story a level of exposure it had never previously achieved. Kelly framed her remarks carefully, repeatedly using conditional language and emphasizing that she was reporting on the existence of online claims, not certifying their accuracy. Still, critics argue that the damage was done the moment the topic aired live. Supporters counter that public figures who have built careers on transparency and truth-telling should be willing to confront uncomfortable questions rather than silence them. Royal commentators were quick to note the timing of the broadcast. It came amid renewed scrutiny of the Sussexes' media ventures, including ongoing questions about stalled projects, declining public favorability in key markets, and strained relations with both British and American institutions. Some analysts believe the segment tapped into a broader fatigue among audiences who feel they have heard repeated narratives without sufficient verification or accountability. Within hours, hashtags referencing Prince Harry's reaction began trending, many speculating about his emotional state and the strain such public scrutiny places on his mental health. Advocates for the Duke pointed to his long-standing openness about trauma and media pressure, arguing that revisiting unproven allegations crosses an ethical line. Others responded that emotional sensitivity cannot shield public figures from legitimate journalistic inquiry, especially when their public image is central to lucrative media deals. Palace insiders, speaking anonymously, indicated that Buckingham Palace was monitoring the situation closely but had no intention of intervening. This silence was interpreted by some as strategic distance, reinforcing the idea that Harry and Meghan now operate entirely outside royal protection. For critics of the Sussexes, this absence of institutional defense was seen as telling. For supporters, it underscored the couple's independence and the risks that come with it. Media law experts weighed in throughout the day, noting that defamation cases involving historical online material are notoriously complex. They pointed out that to pursue legal action, the Sussexes would need to demonstrate not only falsity but also demonstrable harm caused by the broadcast. Given Kelly's careful phrasing and emphasis on reporting rather than accusation, such a case would face significant hurdles. As the story evolved, attention shifted from the allegations themselves to Prince Harry's reported reaction. Commentators questioned whether the Duke's response reflected deeper frustrations with what he perceives as an unrelenting media campaign. Others suggested that his reaction highlighted a fundamental contradiction, a desire for privacy coupled with a continued reliance on public platforms for storytelling, income, and influence. Across social media, opinion was sharply divided. Some viewers praised Kelly for addressing a topic they felt had been deliberately ignored, framing the segment as an example of fearless journalism. Others condemned it as sensationalism masquerading as accountability, accusing the network of exploiting controversy for ratings. The polarization mirrored broader cultural debates about cancel culture, media responsibility, and the boundaries of public interest. By the evening, several prominent commentators called for Meghan Markle herself to address the claims directly, arguing that silence allows speculation to flourish. Others warned that engaging could legitimize baseless rumors and prolong the controversy. This strategic dilemma has followed the Sussexes for years, with each response or non-response carrying potential consequences. What remains clear is that this single broadcast reignited questions that many believed were long buried. It also exposed the fragile equilibrium between celebrity, media power, and public trust. Whether the allegations fade once more into obscurity or trigger further disclosures will depend largely on how the Sussexes choose to respond in the coming days. For Prince Harry, the episode reportedly struck a deeply personal nerve, reinforcing his long-held belief that media narratives can inflict real harm regardless of their factual basis. For Megyn Kelly, the segment reinforced her reputation as a broadcaster willing to challenge protected narratives, even at the cost of backlash. As viewers, we are left navigating a complex landscape where truth, allegation, and perception collide. This story is no longer just about a controversial broadcast or a reported emotional reaction. It is about the evolving relationship between public figures and the media ecosystems that both elevate and scrutinize them. If you want to stay informed as this story develops, hear multiple perspectives, and understand what's really at stake beyond the headlines, make sure to subscribe, share your thoughts respectfully in the comments, and stay connected with us for ongoing coverage that puts context before chaos and facts before frenzy.